My name is Greg Meehan. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer over at Supahands. I've been with Supahands now for the past, about 4.5 years. And I stepped into the CRO role earlier this year. I come from a very heavy sales background. I've been in sales now for well over a decade, starting out in financial services, in the mortgage industry back in the UK, and then moving over here to Malaysia, where I've been for the past 10 years. I've actually been very much on the front line with regards to being an SDR, being a BD and a financial consultant. What I've really, really enjoyed about the role, whether that's being driven by KPIs or revenue or commission for some people and things like that, it's a very, very people-focused industry to be in, or role to be in. And that kind of transitioned very well into the CRO role. And that's what I love about the role itself, very people-focused role, and enabling people and empowering people to do a really, really good job. You know, you really get your hands on with the kind of top tier team members to really hear what they're thinking and work with them strategically and how they want to kind of build the business and build their departments. My day-to-days are normally one-to-ones with the team leads and firefighting on a fairly regular basis, and also more strategic in terms of that macro view of the business and where we're looking to position ourselves, and really listening to the team as well. If you think about just human nature generally, when people are happier, they're more willing to turn up, their attitude changes, the way they answer questions. If you go in with that kind of mentality of, okay, are the people taken care of? Are the people given what they need to perform to an excellent level? Are you empowering your people? Are you enabling your people? Are you bringing your people into the conversation and decision making? The pendulum has swung in terms of the art and science of sales. And it always used to be, oh, he's a great salesperson because he's got the chat, he's got the talk. And now it's moving more towards this data-driven, technology-driven cadences, funnel metrics, top to bottom. This very science-driven, metrics-driven approach. And for me personally, I feel that if you look at how salespeople are approaching different potential clients now, it's all about open rates and conversion metrics, and it's taken away from that essence of what sales is all about, which is people and engaging with people. When we kind of look at the mindset of, or rather the pressure of, the CEO and the board, depending on the size of your company, it's like, okay, what's your number? Are you going to hit your number? And that's all they talk about, because that's what they know. The number is what drives business growth. For me personally, I think there does need to be. I think we have enough technology now and enough visibility as leaders to see performance. And you can take care of the numbers, but you need to take care of the people first. I think there needs to be a more natural evolution to focus on the people. And then once you start focusing on the people, you can see how the performance changes. You don't focus on the numbers and see how the people change. It's the other way around. It's a strange thing, but I think focusing on the people will inadvertently drive the numbers and drive performance. And I do believe that kind of mindset shift and making sure that people are taken care of and they're given the things that they need to do a good job, there needs to be that shift. A lot of the values that we have are driven around the people first kind of values. And I think that's one of the reasons why I joined the business. And by virtue of having these values, it's inherent that we're trying to drive happiness. I think that's why people want to come and work with Supahands, and that's why people stay working with Supahands, because while happiness is not a specific metric that we look at, there's values and principles that we operate by. And by virtue of operating by these values and principles, it drives happiness. And it's a lot to do with kind of that social interaction. Being there, being present, having those one-to-ones and really listening to your team. But at the end of the day, you talk about happiness versus motivation and things like that. And to be honest, like happiness and motivation are very fleeting in nature. I think they come and go, and it can be across 1 hour. Like if you want to tie this back just to sales, then you can close a deal and have a client say, yeah, let's do this, let's move forward. All of a sudden there's a change in situation over there within 30 minutes and they call you back and say, we're not going to move ahead with this. So you're going from incredibly happy to, what the hell just happened? So I think when you create a culture of the kind of those social interactions and transparency and one-to-ones and being there for your team, regardless of whether you're happy or not happy at that moment in time, you can engage with your team on that kind of level. As a young leader coming up, you'll get a lot of pressure top down. But just remember the difficulties and the struggles that people go through on a daily basis. It's not just about hitting the numbers. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, but it's managing those emotions of when you are down and what do you need to do when people aren't hitting the numbers, and turning up and providing solutions and just being an ear for your salespeople.